Welcome back to Crime Podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and this is our 9th episode where we dive deep into the hidden impacts of everyday parenting choices. Today, we're exploring the enchanting world of bedtime stories, a realm filled with imagination, adventure, and moral lessons. But what happens when these tales take a darker turn? We all have fond memories of bedtime stories, the comfort of curling up in bed, the soothing voice of a parent weaving magical tales. But behind the innocent facade of these stories often lie deeper, sometimes darker, messages that can shape a child's psyche in profound ways. We'll uncover the joy of storytelling while also examining the potential emotional crimes parents might commit against their children without even realizing it. Let's unravel the double-edged sword of bedtime stories. The Boogeyman, a name whispered in hushed tones, often accompanied by a shiver down the spine. He's the monster in the closet, the creature under the bed, the embodiment of our deepest fears. Parents often invoke the boogeyman as a disciplinary tool, a way to encourage children to behave or stay in bed. While seemingly harmless, this tactic can have unintended consequences. Imagine being a child, told that a monstrous being lurks in the shadows, waiting to snatch you away for any transgression. This constant threat can instill an irrational fear of the dark that extends far beyond childhood. Let's strive to create a safe and nurturing environment for our children, one free from the lurking fear of imagined monsters. Hansel and Gretel, a seemingly simple fairy tale about two siblings, a trail of breadcrumbs and a gingerbread house. But beneath the surface of this classic story lies a darker narrative, one that can leave a lasting impact on a young mind. The story revolves around the abandonment of Hansel and Gretel in the woods, left to fend for themselves against the dangers of the unknown. This act of parental desertion, even in a fictional setting, can trigger deep-seated fears of abandonment in children. Imagine being a child completely dependent on your caregivers for survival, and then hearing a story where children are left to the mercy of a dangerous world. This can create a sense of vulnerability and insecurity, leading to separation, anxiety, and a constant fear of being left alone. The image of Hansel and Gretel lost and alone can be particularly distressing for children who are experiencing instability or insecurity in their own lives. While Hansel and Gretel ultimately outsmart the witch and return home, the underlying themes of abandonment and vulnerability can leave a lasting impression on a child's psyche. In the heart of Latin American folklore resides the chilling tale of La Llorona, the weeping woman. Her cries echo through the night, a haunting reminder of a mother's grief and a cautionary tale used to keep children close to home. La Llorona, driven to madness by the loss of her children, is said to roam waterways, searching for their souls. This haunting image can be particularly unsettling for young children. The story taps into primal fears, the fear of losing a parent, the fear of water, and the fear of the unknown that darkness often represents. It paints a picture of a world where even a mother's love can be twisted by grief, creating a sense of unease and distrust in the figures meant to provide safety and security. Furthermore, the use of La Llorona as a disciplinary tool can exacerbate these anxieties. The message, often implicit, is that disobedience will lead to separation from loved ones and exposure to unimaginable dangers. Open communication, reassurance, and a focus on the love and security within a family can help mitigate the anxieties this story might evoke. As the holiday season approaches, we're often reminded of the joy, generosity, and warmth it brings. But lurking in the shadows of festive cheer is Krampus, a figure who stands in stark contrast to the merriment. Krampus, a horned demonic creature, is often depicted with chains and birch branches, ready to punish misbehaving children. Instead of gifts and carols, Krampus brings fear and punishment, a stark contrast to the jolly figure of Santa Claus. While intended to encourage good behavior during the holiday season, invoking Krampus can have unintended consequences, turning a time of joy and anticipation into a source of anxiety and dread. Imagine being a child, your mind filled with the magic of Christmas, only to be told that a terrifying creature is watching your every move. While the intention behind Krampus might be to encourage good behavior, it's essential to consider the potential impact of fear-based discipline. Deep within the world of Slavic folklore resides Baba Yaga, a figure as enigmatic as she is terrifying. Often depicted as an old woman residing in a hut that stands on chicken legs, Baba Yaga embodies both the nurturing and the fearsome aspects of the feminine archetype. Baba Yaga is neither inherently good nor evil, but operates in a moral grey area, often helping or hindering those who cross her path based on her whims. This ambiguity can be particularly unsettling for children who crave clear-cut distinctions between right and wrong, good and bad. On the one hand, she's portrayed as a powerful sorceress, a guardian of ancient wisdom and magic. On the other hand, she is often depicted as a fearsome witch, known to devour those who displease her. This duality can create a sense of unease and distrust, particularly towards authority figures, and specifically women in positions of power. The Pied Piper of Hamelin, a tale that echoes through time, captivating generations with its haunting melody and cautionary message. But beneath the surface of this seemingly simple story lies a chilling reminder of the consequences of broken promises and the potential for betrayal by those in power. The story centers around a town overrun by rats, desperate for a solution. Enter the Pied Piper, a charismatic figure who promises to rid the town of its pestilence for a fee. He fulfills his end of the bargain, luring the rats away with his enchanting music. However, when the townspeople, driven by greed, refuse to honor their agreement, the Pied Piper exacts a chilling revenge. The Pied Piper, a symbol of broken promises and the potential for manipulation, serves as a cautionary reminder that not all authority figures are benevolent. Thank you for joining me for the 9th episode of Crime Podcast. As we've explored the darker side of these classic tales, it's important to remember that our intent is not to demonize storytelling or to instill fear in parents. Instead, we aim to shed light on the subtle ways in which these stories can shape a child's understanding of the world, their fears, and their anxieties. Join us next time as we continue to explore the hidden aspects of parenting that shape our children's lives. Remember, every story has the power to inspire, heal, or unintentionally harm. So let's choose wisely. Let's cultivate a world where bedtime stories are a source of comfort, imagination, and positive growth, not a breeding ground for anxieties.